I'm very happy with the way the punch has been repaired. I'll be even happy when it's back on the wheel and back on the bike. Just want to say a quick word about how I've managed to lift the front of this bike off the deck to get the wheel out. Now I've got an ab stand which mainly just lifts the back of the bike up, which is great for doing chain maintenance, etc, etc. But ab stand now make a bar that you fit to the ab stand, which goes to the back of the bike, and then you jack with a strap. You pull the back of the bike down to the bar, which is quite simple, and I could probably make one, but I think I'm going to buy one because I think it's a really good piece of kit. Because the way I've got this bike set up at the moment, it's a bit dangerous really. I've got the whole bike, well the front of the bike, being supported by this block of wood, which isn't great. And then I've got tied to the handlebars, I've got a couple of old seat belts to quite a strong beam in the roof, and basically done a tourniquet to actually lift the front of the bike up, which I've got taped to the handlebar to stop it untwisting. Just overnight, for an extra bit of safety, I put me jack underneath one of the fork legs. I'm very happy the bike is still up in the air and it hasn't pulled the roof down. But going forward, I will be investing in the extension bar for the ab stand, because it's got to be safer than doing it like this. Anyway, back to the wheel. Now, last night was a bit of a panic and trying to get this done. I was sort of working in the semi-dark, but I removed the tyre from the wheel. And I will say about these motorcycle wheels is they're very easy to damage. Okay, so I used to ride a BMW, one of the R series, and just riding it day to day used to bend the wheels, hit a couple of potholes, and you would bend this. They just dink, they just bend. So I took it to a place in Kent that straightens out wheels. He said to me the BMW metal is actually very, very soft alloy, which is good because it can bend back easily. But what it told me was sports bikes rims have got a lot of magnesium in them, which basically makes them a lot harder. So if they bend out of shape, if you bend them back, they're liable to crack. Okay, so just bear that in mind when you're dealing with your wheels. Okay, now you're better off taking this into a shop, and because they've got all the machinery, and the machinery makes it just look so easy. It just takes, the tyres fall off. They're just brilliant. But I don't have that option. Well, I do have that option, but I wanted to do it myself. So I've got me one of these, which is a slide hammer with a chisel end. So what you do is you put that chisel end onto the tyre and you hammer down a couple of times around the rim, taking your time, and eventually you get the tyre to break off the rim. Now, the other thing I like to do is I like to put it up on blocks of wood, because you don't want to bend the discs by having them on the floor. But I had a bits of wood under here as well to make it. And then when I've done the hammering, I made sure I was actually hammering against the wood and not in like an empty space where I could possibly bend the rim. Okay, so you've got to take care with that. The other thing I did do is I used tyre levers and these rim guards basically to actually get the tyre off. The tyre has been repaired. I've just cut off the excess. I think the repair's gone very, very well. The only thing I'm worried about is in the winter, water forcing its way in there and lifting the patch off from inside. But I've got experience using like the smaller bungs, which I was trying to use last night, which was a complete failure, and to such a point I don't think I'll ever use them again, because I've run out of the size that was ideal. So basically that's just going to get shelved. I won't be using those anymore. There is a system, a bung system, which you can buy, which comes with a tube which you sort of wind into the wheel. I've seen them on YouTube being demonstrated, and it looks pretty good. But I think the stringy puncture repair kit, as I like to call it, this kit, I think this is just a get you home kit, which is good. I think, I was quite impressed with it, to be honest with you. But what I did notice is when I went to take the stringy bit out of the tyre, the stringy bung, I literally just pushed in there with a screwdriver, like a posi drive screwdriver, and the bung just fell into the wheel. I mean, it didn't take a lot of pushing, to be honest with you, to get the twisty bungy bit to fall into the tyre. So that's why I'm sort of saying I don't think they're very safe. Now, other people might have had better experience of them. I suppose if you push it into the tyre, I was thinking about this last night, push loads of it in and then slowly pull it. So what I mean is when you fold it in half, I was thinking about this, if you push it all the way in, so you've only got two ends slightly sticking out, up about a centimetre say, and then pull the needle back out, what happens is the amount of material you got in there, it will twist in, it will just twist up on itself. So the more you got in the tyre, the more it's going to twist up at the back when you pull out, and hopefully because it's twisted, so it's actually formulated, so when you let go of it, it sort of twists up into a knot. Maybe if you'd done it properly, it would work, but I don't know. I don't know about these things. So I'm just going to get back on the bike now and put the tyre back on. Sorry, one thing I forgot to mention is basically tyres are directional, and you can see there, this light's not very good, but there's an arrow on the tyre, okay, and that is the direction of rotation as you ride down the road. And obviously your wheel goes in either one way or the other, and I'll be honest, that side looks very similar to that side, so it's easy to get wrong. So to make sure I don't get it wrong, I've actually marked on the inside of the rim, on the dirt, the arrow, right, as I took the wheel off, before I took the tyre off, sorry, I marked on the rim in two places the direction for the tyre to go on, so that way I won't put it on wrong, because I have put them on wrong before and it's a pain in the arse, because I had to do that job again to actually get the tyre off. The other thing I did do is I marked in marker pen where the valve was. Okay, now when you get a new tyre, it comes with a spot, and I'll be honest with you, I can't remember if the spot has to go near the rim, near the actual valve, or to the opposite side of the valve. But anyway, I'll mark the tyre so it goes on that part there, will go near the valve, well obviously opposite the valve, next to the valve I should say. So the tyre will go on as it came off. Okay, it's an easy mistake to make. So that's how I marked both the wheel and the tyre to get around it. Right, here we are, the moment of truth. Tyre's been on a couple of days now, and put 32 pounds pressure in it. I've just gone to my local shopping centre, and I've not checked the pressures at all, so I'm just going to check the pressure now. It actually says 33, so it's a pounder over. The tyre's warm, so that's good. So I've lost no pressure at all. The handling of the bike is fine. Took a couple of roundabouts on the way up here, and it's all working good. What I will say is basically when you go and put a tyre back on, you need some lubricant. So in this instance I use Swarthega on the bead to get it back onto the rim. Okay, but taking a tyre on and off will probably be a different video. So basically, success.